In the last lecture, we have learned forEach method on arrays. Now forEach is also available on maps and sets. Now let's take a small data and see how forEach works with the maps and with sets. Now here I am going to start with maps. For that, let's cut this currencies map, this one. Let's cut this one and then paste here. And so remember that in this array of arrays, each of these array elements, so this inner array will be one entry of the map. Where this here, this is the first element is the key and then this is the value. And so now we can call for each on maps. Right, currencies dot for each, E should be capital, and then the function. So this is the callback function, and now this callback function also has three parameters. So when the forEach method calls it, it will call this function with three arguments. So the first one will be the current value, that is value. And then the second one is the key. And the third one is the entire map. Second one key. And the third one is the entire map, that is belong to looped over. And so now you see that this is similar to the array. The first parameter is the current element of the array. So the second is the index and the third is the entire array. So there is a nice correspondence between these two. And so this is a quite easy to memorize here. Now let's log this into console.log. Returns key, then give value. Let's see the result. Expected. So let's reload. See here we have that key and then value. So we got the result, and this is the way how we use forEach for map. So this is for map. Now let's write the set. So let's now create a new set. Write const currencies giving unique, currencies unique, and then new set. So here remember that we need to pass an iterable. So for that I'm using an array here. So let's just create a couple of strings. Is giving here USD. So this USD is like US dollar like that, and GBP. Then next USD giving another time, and then some euros. Then again I am giving euro. Now let's log this into console. Console.log. This is unique. Now let's see the result. See here we have third set of these values, that is basically it has given the unique values. So it is deleted the repeated ones, and we already discussed this set about in earlier sessions. Now let's write the forEach for this set. Currencies unique dot forEach and then function. Now we need to pass the parameters, that is value, key, and then map. And now let's take this into console.log. Here I am giving the same value. copy, paste. Now let's see the result and remember that here we are logging the key and the value. Now see the result. Below we get here USD and here GBP and EUR. So this means that is the key here is exactly the same as the value. So why is that means a set doesn't have keys. So and it doesn't have indexes either. So there is no value that would make sense for a key, and so essentially this key here makes no sense at all. So it wouldn't even give anything. And so people who designed for each method for sets, they could have simply omitted the second argument. So if they did that, then this for each would have been different from the others. And so therefore it was decided to keep the same signature. So basically keep the same three parameters in this callback function and simply set to the second one to the first one, that is give here value. So and to just to avoid the confusion, give here also value. Now see here the duplicate parameter name not allowed in JavaScript. So this means that we cannot have the duplicate parameter name. So we can just use a underscore here as the second parameter. So which means in JavaScript is a throwaway variable. So that means a variable that is completely unnecessary. So it's just a convention. Now we see that reload. So now it should work. And that's all you need to know about the for each method for maps and sets. So it's very straightforward if you already understood how it works for arrays. So this is all about the session. See you in the next one. Thank you.